Hello, folks, and welcome to the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. I am your host and beat reporter, John Shipley, and I've been your beat reporter covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for Sports Illustrated every single day since August 2019, and we are continuing to march through yet another offseason together. As always, Jacksonville Jaguars on SI delivers you the best Jaguars coverage you will find anywhere, whether it be locally or nationally. Jaguars on SI delivers you the most comprehensive Jaguars coverage, and we also deliver you double-digit pieces of content every single day, ranging from audio and video content to written content. And we are live, boots on the ground, at the Jacksonville Jaguars facilities every single day they have their doors open. Whether it's at Jaguars practices, press conferences, training camp, in the locker room, or on game day, we are always there to give you an inside look at your favorite team. So don't forget that you can follow us on social media, such as Facebook and Twitter, at Jaguars on SI. You can also find us at www.si.com/NFL/Jaguars. And most importantly, never forget, all of our content is 100% free for you, the faithful fans of Duval. Hello and welcome to today's episode, the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. We've broken down a few of the Jacksonville Jaguars top free agent additions so far in the last few episodes. Jordan Lewis, Patrick McCarry. Today we are talking about Dyami Brown. The Jaguars added the former Washington Commanders wide receiver on a 1-year, $10 million deal. I know the number really surprised a lot of people, especially when you see reports that, Cooper Kupp, I think it was Ian Rappaport, said could initially be had for like a $12 million a year contract. It now looks like that'll be closer to $15 million a year, etc. But it was interesting to see him obviously get the price that he got, considering his production, over his 4 years in Washington, where he really, was kind of stuffed down on the depth chart, was used mostly on shot plays, on screens, etc. I'd say the market kind of dictated it. Look at what Tutu Atwell got with Los Angeles, and it's like on a very micro level, similar for like the wide receiver 3 position, what the Jaguars did with Christian Kirk in 2022 when they paid him that 4-year, $72 million deal, etc. The Rams paying Atwell this, meant that so many other players were going to seek a similar type of deal. And that's what you see with Dyami Brown, and that is why I think that he got the price that he got. Now, I've mentioned it. I don't consider him a replacement for Christian Kirk. I don't think they're the same player. Christian Kirk, very savvy route runner against man, gets open, over the intermediate part of the field very well. Look at Dyami Brown. He's somebody who he plays on the outside much more than he's played in the slot in his career. He's kind of a vertical threat. He's a guy who really benefits, on screens as a yards after the catch guy. Is a very physical player. I just don't think their skill sets are very similar, and I don't think that they would be used similar by Liam Cohen in his offense. I think in his offense there are so many players that are meant to be able to plug in and play anywhere, whether it's a slot, whether it's inside, whether it's crashing down from tight formations, blocking at the second level, etc. I think he wants his guys to be versatile. And why I think Christian Kirk wasn't a great fit for Liam Cohen was that he's not one of those guys. He's kind of a slot only. That's what he's going to be. And when you have that, you can't experiment much with a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. in the slot, etc. Brian Thomas Jr. did most of his work from the slot after Christian Kirk got injured, and the Jaguars moved him around more because they were forced to move him around more. So I think with Dyami Brown, you see a guy who the clear vision for him, I think, is as a Z receiver in 11 personnel. When they move to having only 2 receivers on the field, potentially he's out there, Brian Thomas Jr., etc. Maybe he's the 3rd guy in the pecking order, and you see Gabe Davis out there, maybe a draft pick. Overall, just seeing what he does, with the ball in his hands. Liam Cohen has one of the best screen games of any coach in the NFL offensively. So I think that Brown can really be a benefactor from Cohen, thanks to what he does after the catch. And, it's been put out there in some channels from the Jaguars, James Gladstone talking that James Gladstone's been a fan of Brown since, he came out of the draft in 2021. Gladstone said that Rams general manager Les Snead texted him, about them adding Brown, etc., saying, he should have known. So it's very clear that, he's a player that the Jaguars coveted for a couple reasons and that they think he can be more. If I had to pick one knock on it, I'd say it's the fact that it's a one-year deal. To me, signing players to cheap one-year deals when they're veteran Band-Aids makes sense. But a player like Brown, you're banking on having a career year this year. You're banking on him ascending and taking a big step. Wouldn't you want some leverage and be on the better end of a 2-year deal with a guy like that, as opposed to if he, for some reason, explodes this year? He's only on a 1-year contract. He just hits free agency again next year, and you have little leverage to bring him back, and his price probably goes way up. So if I had one knock on it, that's probably it. But overall, I see why this move was made. It's not to replace Christian Kirk. It's adding an element to the offense that previously they didn't have. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley, and as always, we'll be back next time.